particular highly rated university once published a particular article stating how they realized that over time in their homecoming, that students that graduated with 2 and 3rd class contributed more than those that graduated with the 1st class. So what is that trying to tell us? They basically did their research and observation and realized that people who finished with low class had more social skill. They were more emotionally intelligent. Because, as you know, before the 21st century, a person's level of productivity and ability to solve complex ideas depended highly on intelligence quotient, which is called IQ. But over time, as we evolve in the 21st century, intellectuals have realized that the most effective and sustainable skill people need to have these days, especially in positions of leadership, is simply emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is your ability to understand yourself and others. And by doing that, you are able to identify your areas of strength and weakness, your ethics, your values, the things that drive you, basically. Why trying to understand others helps you navigate them towards your will. So basically, emotional intelligence is a vital tool in today's world and for leaders and high-level management. So emotional intelligence is divided into 5 different parts. The first one is self-awareness. The second one is self-regulation. You need to regulate yourself and coordinate yourself. The third one is motivation. The fourth one is empathy. And the fifth one is social skill. Self-awareness. According to one of the greatest generals that ever lived, the gentleman's name is Sun Tzu, a very great Chinese general. He said, know thyself, know the other, and your victory will not be at risk. So basically, once you understand yourself, you know how to channel your bad energy, basically, your bad habits, your bad attitude, your temperament. You know how to temper yourself down, and you know that you can't necessarily always use that to deal with people because it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, and relationship or interfacing will not recall. So of course you have the second one, which is self-regulation or self-coordination. Also, it has to do with you have the ability to know your limits, know your boundaries, know when to channel certain energy to a different path. You don't necessarily react to everything. You can regulate. So emotional intelligence goes a long way to about reaction, how you react. It's just like you trying to make other people's opinion about your reality. People can say what they say, people can judge, but it's up to you to learn how to regulate yourself so that you do not play into people's hands, basically. So the fifth one is motivation. Motivation is your ability to relish or bask in your achievements. You understand? In that way, it can serve as a driver, it can serve as a conveyor belt to keep you going, towards achieving greater goals in the future. So the fourth one rather is what we call empathy. So it's what we call empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is your ability to be able to view the world through other people's perspective. Basically, your ability to fit yourself in other people's shoes. And this is very vital for leadership. So as a leader, when you speak to your constituents over time as a result of your activities, you might not necessarily be in touch all the time. But empathy is one of the ways you can stay in touch with your constituents, because your emotional intelligence to feel their need, your emotional intelligence to view what they want from their perspective. You understand? That is how they feel that you're always in touch with them. You just don't become one of those leaders that after you get elected, you move on. So emotional intelligence and empathy works well in that area. And finally, social skills. In the story I told you at the beginning about how those with lower degrees made more money, they made it as a result of their ability to have social skills. What is social skills? Simple. Social skills is simply friendliness or purpose. Your ability to bend people towards your will. In a good way, of course, this same practice can be used in manipulation. But because we're conscious people, because we're people who are willing to make the world a better place, we use it positively. So usually people with a very high grade, because they're so technical, they have a very high IQ, so they're very hands-on, and they don't necessarily have those skills. They're more of lab people that need to be in a secluded area to operate. But when you start to rise in organization and career, you realize that higher level management, for you to be effective and efficient and deliver on your targets at that level, you need to have social skills at that point. Because now you're dealing with more people, you're interfacing with people, you need to be able to be emotional intelligence towards them, feel their pulse, know their need, know where they're hurting, know how to motivate and drive your team or your group, as the case was. So having said that, to me, I'm convinced that emotional intelligence is one of the most important tools that everybody, from leadership to middle level to foremen, need to be able to navigate through transforming times. So if you have bad emotional intelligence, in fact, let me put it this way. If you are not emotionally intelligent, then what are you? That's the big question. The truth is, if you're not emotionally intelligent, you are emotionally illiterate. And for you to improve and hone your emotional intelligence skill, you're going to need to follow the steps I mentioned earlier, like number one, be self-aware. You need to take time to understand who you are. You need to know your weaknesses, because your weaknesses are the factors that will hinder you from having or enjoying good emotional intelligence and good social skills with people. You need to know your strength, hone your strengths, and as much as possible, starve your weaknesses. Most of these skills are learnable. You cannot just say, no, it's not possible. You cannot give up. You need to have that will to acquire these new skills that will help you navigate towards the future. So that's one of the very vital ways you can harness and hone your emotional intelligence skill. If you're one with a bad skill, I think you should start with self-awareness. And if you want to go further, you can always still elaborate further. Actually, I've not been in that situation. I guess it's because I'm in self-regulation. I try to be emotionally intelligent. I try to read people's emotion and try to understand when it's the best time to say something. That's another thing we need to learn. We need to learn when to speak, when not to speak. It's as simple as that. Actually, I have, but I try to. Once again, like any human being, I was reacting, but at the same time, I was able to, calm myself down and realize that all the emotions I was dispensing wasn't even affecting the person I was, trying to have this road rage with. So I just, had to, calm myself at that point, and I locked up. Hi, my name is Powell Hart. Always remember, be excited, be expectant, and of course, be conscious.